Today is September 15th, 2024, and we're continuing on with a bootcamp series, day 6, with a bookworm puppy 64. Today we will go ahead and take a closer look at rox-filer, use it more effectively and configure. And this is what I do. So we've already made some keyboard shortcuts. So on my my computer, I can just Super and R will bring out rox-filer, and this is normally though, when you first open up rox-filer, you will have this appearance. So let's just go ahead and put it on the left upper corner. So, but I prefer this appearance. So minus key. So and then Control H will toggle hidden files and folders. To have this type of appearance, what you have to do is go into right-click on a rox-filer and go to Options. So you go to Options, and generally I find for me largest window size is 75%, so you can't be more than 75% each rox-filer. Works well for me. And directory comes first. New window is fairly important to make sure that this is ticked so you can get a consistent appearance of rox-filer. So I prefer to have a show hidden files. Sort by name is fine. I can view right now, as you can you saw the it was very large, and I made it smaller. So what I prefer is the default size is actually small icons. And then list view, generally you don't want the owner and group to be shown because it's sort of redundant in Puppy Linux. They're both root. So, and then tools buffer. So for me, I don't use this up here. Although rox-filer was originally intended to be used with mouse, I find that for me, at my age, it's really inefficient to drag my mouse way up there. So what I prefer to do is have no toolbar. So this for me works well. And then thumbnails, so you want to show the thumbnails, generally speaking. Pinboard refers to the desktop appearance, and I don't, so these lettering here, I don't need the shadows. And you can change the size of these lettering, but 10 is fine for me. And single click is fine. And then this should be on course. So if you want to place icons in on a desktop, which I prefer personally not to do, you want a course because it'll be easier to line them up rather than find. So I generally course is a good idea. And then you can go to the desktop, and then action window, I prefer to have pretty much everything all clicked, because it makes it efficient to go ahead and move or copy, because it'll also take care of recursively. So all subfolders, for example. So drag and drop. I think that here in Bookworm, it uses LX terminal rather than Xterm. In my computer, personal computer, I prefer Xterm. Is smaller and slightly faster. I think the Menace default terminal, again, you can change that to LX terminal, but default is LX terminal anyway. Types, icon theme, you can go ahead and but the rox is fine. These icons appearance, colors. We don't deal with that with this default color of these files, and the folder names are fine as it is, and that's pretty much it. So let's just close it again with F4 key, because we set up the basic keyboard before. And then we'll go ahead and start the rox-filer again. Let me just do this. I'll just go ahead and start the rox. One is from the root that we had, and then let me just go ahead and start another one with downloads, and then we can save, close. So here is rox-filer, and here is downloads here. And another basic setup that I find very useful is whenever I have rox-filer open and root, I prefer to have it in the right upper corner of the display. And then if I want to open downloads folder, so we can just go ahead and backslash here. You can see that it's actually downloads, and this is exactly same as this. So that I prefer to have it here. So to do that, I think that to be able to open the root pretty much all the time in the right upper corner, what you can do is go ahead and right click and then look under display and get to save current display settings, and it will also have pretty much everything, but most importantly position and size is going to be clicked already. So we want to have it here. So then still with this under focus, what you want to do in my case is Control 1, because every time I click on number 1, I want the root rox to open the right upper corner. So I'm going to click Control and 1. Okay. Now similarly, I'm just going to go over here. Whenever I open downloads folder, I want it appear here on this side, so I can drag a copy from one to the other easier. So again, then we go to a right click here, and we go to display and save current display settings, and then OK. And then this time, let's say I want to, whenever I click 2, I want the downloads folder to open in this position. So I'm going to say Control 2. I did that. Now let's just go ahead and close this F4. Now with this, now I'm just going to click on 1. You see that? And then now I want to click on 2, and it's going to go to the downloads folder. So you can see that the 1 again is this is very powerful. Let's say I want to, every time I click on I want to edit the .jwm, I want it open about here. So we go through the same again, right click, and then display current save settings, and then OK. And let's say I want to map it to the number 4 key rather than 3 at this point. So Control 4. Now let's go back to 1. Now it didn't go up to the correct position here, but let me just go ahead and, let's say, go ahead and 2. I'm going to just click on 2, and it goes downloads, and then I'm going to click again 1. So it does eventually go to 1, but sometimes this will happen. But let me just go to the 4 again. Let me just go to the 1, and then so 2 again, and then 1. So sometimes it does that, but basically I find it this very effective and efficient for me. For those that are interested in further adding a keyboard control on rocks. For example, if I want to right click here, and if I wanted the options to be triggered by Control O, and then display, we just been using save current display settings with Control D, for example. What we need to do is actually from what we've done before is to map the F4 key in rox-filer to close rox-filer, so we can go to the same configuration of a folder again, to a .config, and then rox source.net, and then rox-filer, and then -2 again. What we want to do is just go ahead and right click and start Genie again, and here we can further add what we can do is let's say where was the we want display 7 save current display settings, so we want this to be activated, so we can go ahead and do that. And then here what we want to do is primary, so that refers to control key, and then D. So and then the other one we're interested in is again right click, and it was options. So let's go ahead and find the options. Control F, options, and then ALTN was not found. ALTF, we're gonna force it again, so, and then we're gonna close. It should be options now. ALTC, here is options. So here what we want to do, add primary, and then O this time, and then obviously you have to make sure there's no same keys being used, and then we also want to activate it, and then go ahead and Control S to save all the changes. And now when you reboot, or yes, when you after rebooting, you will have further menu here. Options will have a Control O, and you'll have a Control D, as similar here. It'll appear. So that way you can get to the Control D, for example, much quicker with just with the keyboard. And I think